Hello dear pupils, welcome to the House of Knowledge. During the webinar you are free to ask any questions on the topic of the webinar and I'll give you answers during this or the following webinar. You must write your questions and I'm going to ask you some questions too, so be ready to answer. Before we start checking the sound, the picture, I think we are ready to start. Well, as you have watched our video lessons and sent us a lot of questions, I have prepared answers to some common questions on the topic. And the topic of our webinar today is Ocean Noise Pollution. Сегодня мы разберем наиболее часто задаваемые вопросы по теме шумовое загрязнение океана. Some might have not even heard about this kind of pollution, but it really exists. Well, the following list of the words are sounds, but we feel differently hearing those sounds. Waves, волны, a ship's horn, сигнал кораблей, a boat engine, лодочный мотор, seagulls, чайки, drill, дрель, an explosion, взрыв. I am sure that the sound of waves makes us feel relaxed. A ship's horn makes us feel anxious. We feel calm when we hear the sound of a boat engine, and seagulls make us feel excited. The sound of a drill makes us nervous, and we feel worried and scared when we hear the sound of an explosion. Almost the same things happen with the animals living in water. Killer whales, dolphins, and baby seals can no longer hear and communicate with each other as well as in the past. This makes it harder for them to find a mate and or feeding grounds. They may also become stranded. Sound blasts from military sonar cause bleeding to the eyes, ears, and organs in whales and dolphins. Human-made noise pollution in the Earth's oceans and seas becoming a serious threat to marine wildlife. Scientists report that there is hardly an underwater place left where marine mammals can live in peace and quiet. Dozens of species of whale, dolphin, turtle, and other creatures rely on sounds to communicate, find mates, and hunt for food. Their increasingly noisy environment is making it more and more difficult to lead a normal life. This is according to a report from the International Fund for Animal Welfare, or we call it IFAW, called Ocean Noise Turn It Down. The environmental group says noise from shipping, military sonar, oil and gas service, offshore construction, and marine sports has reached dangerous levels for sea life. The IFAW says the distance over which blue whales can communicate is down by 90%. It also reports that in the past decade, many whales have become beached after being disorientated because of loud noise. The group also warns that noise pollution is only going to get worse. It highlighted the use of seismic surveys as one example of the extent of the problem. These generate incredibly loud sounds every 10 seconds that can travel 3,000 kilometers. There are 90 survey ships active in the oceans today. In addition, the number of ships sailing the sea will double by 2025. Mark Simmons, a conservation spokesman, said, "Man-made noise is already triggering a kind of acoustic fog," and called for a response to noise pollution in the underwater. My friends, here are two most asked questions on the topic of noise pollution. Is noise pollution a universal problem? And are governments prepared to solve the problem of noise pollution? No other pollutant ruins nearly as many lives as noise. It is the only one known to drive sufferers to murder, yet it receives so little public attention. Green pressure groups, which struggle actively on so many environmental threats, are almost universally silent about it. Noise pollution seems to be growing fast in many countries around the world, but in fact no government in the world seems prepared to deal with the problem. Two-thirds of Europeans are exposed every day to noise levels that, according to the World Health Organization, are unacceptable. About 1 in 10 people are particularly sensitive to noise. The situation is constantly getting worse. Household noise complaints have risen five-fold over the past 2 decades. More people say they hate piped music in shops, restaurants, and public buildings than like it. Of course, we have been surrounded by sound since before birth, and noise pollution is as old as civilization. Like other pollutants, it is a byproduct of industrialization, urbanization, and modern civilization. Generally speaking, the noise pollution has two sources: industrial and non-industrial. The industrial source includes the noise from various industries and big machines working at a very high speed and high noise intensity. Non-industrial source of noise includes the noise created by traffic and the neighborhood noise. Most leading noise sources fall into the following categories: road traffic, aircraft, railroads, construction, industry, noise in buildings and consumer products. Indoor and outdoor noise pollution sources include car alarms, emergency service sirens, mechanical equipment, appliances, fireworks, audio entertainment systems, electric megaphones, barking dogs, and loud people. The following words are used to speak about noise pollution: keep track of, know where something or somebody is. Следить, знать, где кто-либо или что-бы. Faint, weak, слаб. Intense, extreme, интенсивный, предельный. Stranded, unable to leave a place. Осевший, неспособный покинуть место. Drastic, strong, сильный. Marine, sea, морской. Breed, размножаться. Have babies, заводить детей. Drilling, бурение. Using a special tool to make holes. Использовать специального инструмента, чтобы проделывать отверстия. Mate, пара. Male, female, to have babies with. Blasts, взрывы. Loud explosive noises. Громкий звук взрыва, взрывной звук. My friends, hopes and dreams will help us to overcome all the difficulties and problems we face in this world. By the way, there are some interesting collocations with the word hope. Dash one's hopes. Разбить чьи-либо надежды. In the hope that. Надежде что. Hope for the best. Надеяться на лучшее. Get one's hopes up. Надеяться. Give up hope. Оставить надежду. Have high hopes of. Возлагать высокие надежды. Pin one's hopes on. Возлагать надежды на. Dear friends, I'm asking you, I want you to make up sentence with these collocations. Try to use each collocation in different sentence. Well, and the next thing, using your own ideas, finish these sentences. These sentences are talking about dreams, our dreams. I see myself, continue the idea. I might try and, I'm thinking of, if I can I'll, what I'd really like to, I'm really dreading, I've always dreamed of, I desperately want to, I long to become. Well, my friends, in conclusion of our webinar, I'd like to tell you that we all must do our best to change our world to better. And if we do our best, I'm sure all the problems with ecology and with pollution in the world, the situation will become quite better. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye. See you next time.